Hey fam, how's it going? Speed Duel Bro here, and in today's video we have Dark Paladin Control. Let's go. For the skill card we have Fusion Party. For monster lineup we have 3 Dark Magicians, 2 Goddess with the Third Eye, 2 Breaker the Magical Warrior, 2 Cyber Dragon, and 1 Jinzo. For spells we have 3 Book of Moon, 2 Soul Exchange, and 2 Allure of Darkness. For traps we have 2 Floodgate Trap Hole and 1 Psychic Shockwave. For the extra deck we have 1 Dark Paladin and 1 Cyber End Dragon. How to win / strategies. Alright, before we go over the game plan fam, the only thing that we need to review is the new errata for Fusion Party. Now I don't have the errata version, but basically all you need to know is you have to discard 1 card now in order to fusion summon. Alright fam? So let me show you the playstyle of this deck. So the way this deck plays fam is that we are going to grind it out with the opponent in hopes of having better control of the field. So grind it out and control. And this is how we're going to achieve that. So let's say this is what we're staring at right now at the opponent's field. The opponent has 3 back row and a monster face down. So this is where our monster lineup is going to try to grind it out with the opponent. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to special summon Cyber Dragon. And for those of you that don't already know, maybe my newer Speed Duel fam, Cyber Dragon is a very excellent card to apply offensive pressure on the opponent because you are basically summoning a 2100 attacker for free. And the fact that we didn't expend our 1 normal summon per turn is also very important. So proceeding with the play, we had just summoned Cyber Dragon, right? Now the opponent has 3 back row, so Cyber Dragon is also very good at baiting the opponent out to use their back row. So if the opponent doesn't do anything, the opponent is going to be in trouble because Cyber Dragon is a very formidable attacker. So we summoned Cyber Dragon, and now the opponent's going to activate their face down here, which happens to be Floodgate Trap Hole, which will suck for us, but the key thing here is the opponent only has 2 back rows and we still have our normal summon, so we can still make a play. And what do you know? The other monster in our hand is Breaker the Magical Warrior. So we can normal summon Breaker, Breaker gets its spell counter, and now we have the option to destroy one of the 2 back rows over here. So let's go ahead and destroy one of the back row here. And as you can see fam, we are basically clearing the way for Dark Paladin so that when Dark Paladin comes out, we have the least amount of complications to face, and we can really lock down the opponent and control the field. Now let's reset the field and let me show you some more strategies with this deck. Strategy number 2. So this second strategy, it's still going to revolve around Cyber Dragon, but there's a new way of dealing with the opponent. So here it goes. Now here we are staring at the opponent's field again, and let's say we just wanted to get rid of the opponent's monster just because, okay? Before entering the battle phase. So this is where Soul Exchange is going to come in. Now when we activate Soul Exchange fam, we can go about this 2 ways. Here's the first way. So let's say we special summon Cyber Dragon, right? Oh, there goes the opponent again, activating their pesky Floodgate Trap Hole. Now mind you, we haven't used our normal summon yet, right? So next up, we're going to activate Soul Exchange. And look who's coming to the duel, Dark Magician. Now we can tribute the opponent's monster and our very own Cyber Dragon to normal summon Dark Magician. So Dark Magician has some unexpected use besides being fusion material for Dark Paladin. And here's the other way, the more simpler way if we wanted to just clear the opponent's field. So let's reset the field real quick. Okay, so we've got Cyber Dragon in hand and a Soul Exchange. The other way is to simply activate Soul Exchange and tribute the opponent's monster. And then just go ahead and normal summon Cyber Dragon. the normal way, the tribute summon way. Now I know, fam, that these strategies and these plays right here are very basic, but the thing that I'm just trying to point out is that we have plays with Cyber Dragon. You know, we have more than one way to deal with the opponent instead of just special summoning, spamming Cyber Dragon, okay? I want you to get out of that mindset. You know, you really have to think out of the box sometimes in order to win duels. And what do you know? The opponent wants to activate that pesky floodgate trap hole again. Well, guess what, fam? We got an answer this time. We've got Psychic Shockwave. And now Jinzo is coming out to the field, and that will nullify all the trap cards. So as you can see, fam, this is how we're going to grind it out with the opponent and control the field. And when the time is right, you summon Dark Paladin, and now the opponent is not only locked out of traps, but they are also potentially locked out of spell cards because of Dark Paladin's effect. So this is pretty much the strategy, fam. It's grind it out and control. Now, I recommend that you don't bring Dark Paladin out right away, but if that's the cards that our hand has given us, then so be it. Go ahead and bring out Dark Paladin. But again, you want Cyber Dragon and the rest of the monster lineup to kind of clear the way for Dark Paladin so that when Dark Paladin comes out, we can have better control of the field. And don't forget, fam, that we can also special summon Cyber Dragon and then tribute it away for Jinzo. Now I know it sounds silly of me to bring that up, but for the newer fam in speed duels, I'm just trying to mention it, okay? So that they have all the strategies in their arsenal. Card analysis. The skill card Fusion Party. It's the key card for bringing out Dark Paladin, and believe it or not, fam, we can also summon Cyber and Dragon. We've got the 2 Cyber Dragons and a Goddess with a 3rd eye. And always remember too that Fusion Party has been errataed, so basically we can still fusion summon, but we have to discard 1 card now. And then we play the 3 Dark Magician. I know that some of you may be thinking that 3 Dark Magician is a bit excessive, but remember, fam, this is a Dark Paladin deck, and hear me out on my other reasonings too. Dark Magician is also Allure of Darkness fodder, so we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets for Allure of Darkness. And as we've reviewed in the how to win / strategies part of the video, we can also use Dark Magician as to normal summon by sacrificing an opponent's monster and our own monster via soul exchange. So basically, just Dark Magician is another means to somehow gain better control of the field, if you get what I'm saying. It's because we're tributing the opponent's monster away, thus clearing their board. And then we play the 2 Goddess with the 3rd eye. Now, I know this may seem like another weird ratio, but for me, fam, this was the right balance so that we can have access to Dark Paladin and have room for other monsters. And then we play the 2 Cyber Dragon, which is an excellent card in this deck because it helps us bait the opponent's back row, and it applies good offensive pressure on the opponent. And the fact that we can still have our once per turn normal summon, that's very key. So Cyber Dragon for MVP in this deck. And then we play the 2 Breaker, which helps us deal with more back row that the opponent may have, thus clearing the way for our Dark Paladin. Special summon Cyber Dragon, the normal summon Breaker. That's a pretty good combo if you ask me. And then we play the 1 Jinzo to help us deal with all the trap cards the opponent has. And then we play the 3 Book of Moon. As you all know, Book of Moon is universal utility at its finest. It can protect us from the opponent's monster by shutting them face down, and it helps protect our monsters by helping our monsters dodge some back row. And then we play the 2 Soul Exchange. Now I think this is very good tech in this deck, fam, because of Cyber Dragon itself and Jinzo, and if need be, Dark Magician. So the fact that we are able to tribute away the opponent's monster, again, it will help us control the field. It's all about control in this deck. And then we played the 2 Allure of Darkness. This is just to help add some consistency. And if we have 1 too many Dark Magicians in our hand, well, we can Allure of Darkness it away. And then we play the 2 Floodgate Trap Hole. Now fam, I know some of you may also be concerned as to why I play Floodgate Trap Hole when we have Jinzo. Well, here's the thing, fam. We're not always going to see Jinzo. And if we're facing against a great opponent or a good opponent, they're going to find a way to deal with our Jinzo. So having Floodgate Trap Hole, especially to just shut down the opponent's monster, is just going to help us, okay? Just trust me on that. And then we play the 1 Psychic Shockwave, which is kind of the surprise factor of the deck. It will help us bring out Jinzo unexpectedly on the opponent. And the sooner we bring out Jinzo, the higher chance we're going to win, because the opponent will be locked out of their trap cards, obviously. And if we're really lucky, having Jinzo out and Dark Paladin out at the same time, oh yeah, we've got a pretty good hold of the field for the most part. And then we play the 1 Dark Paladin, the boss monster of the deck, and then the second boss monster of the deck, Cyber End Dragon, because we actually can go into it if the situation allows for it. Okay fam, moment of truth. Where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is casual. Now, the reason why I say it's casual, fam, is because of Dark Magician. Dark Magician is kind of a liability in terms of when we draw into our hand, you know, it's kind of a dead card unless we see Goddess with the Third Eye or Soul Exchange. But yeah, all my OGs and veterans know this. Anytime that we have to run normal monsters in the deck, let's just say they're not the most optimal choices. And in speaking of optimal, this is why I'm not running Buster Blader in the deck, fam. I felt like, let's say we went down that route. 3 Dark Magician, 3 Goddess with the Third Eye, and 3 Buster Blader. I'm sorry, fam, that will just not do it for me. And as you know, I always play to win. And that's the one thing you can count on Speed Duel, bro. No matter what power level the deck may be, casual, semi-competitive, or competitive, I'm gonna try my best to maximize its potential, because remember, I always play to win. But just a reminder too, fam, with casual decks, you don't want to expect too much from it. All you gotta do is just have fun with it, alright? So there you go, fam, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to hit the like button because it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, your Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe, because 2 things. 1, I always play to win and I'll teach you how to win. And 2, if you love Speed Duels, I'm sure you'll love me too, your Speed Duel bro. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace